Hi beloved, it is Harmony here and I welcome you to today's video. If this is your first time, please endeavor to subscribe to this channel because it's going to be worthwhile. And if you are a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by again. Today I'll be attending to 2 questions and I will need your comments. You also have to attend to that question with me in the comment section, okay? What you understand and your own answer to the person that asked the question, okay? You'll be attending to it in the comment section. Then if you also have your own questions as we are discussing, then you can also, leave it in the comment section. I will come over to the comment section and I will respond it. So now the first question is a comment that looks like a question. The person is saying, if silver and gold belongs to Jesus, then why be against prosperity message? Then he also said, poverty is not a sign of holiness. Now, first of all, the reason why I'm attending to this is because this is the mindset of so many people about the gospel that we preach, or the gospel that Dr. Abel Damina preached. And I am not preaching man like some of them think. He is preaching Christ and we are joining him to preach Christ. If you start preaching Christ on your page, whether you mention us or not, you are joining force with us. So according to this comment, silver and gold belongs to Jesus, then why be against prosperity? Now, we are not against prosperity. It takes money to be on stage. It takes money for Dr. Abel Damina to preach the gospel to you. Every Sunday, money is burning, okay? So he cannot be against prosperity. As a matter of fact, he is actually teaching you that the best way to be prosperous is not to pray about it, because unbelievers get prosperous without having to pray about it. Get something doing. Get something doing. That is what he's trying to say, because you don't pray yourself into riches. There is no human being on earth right now that ever prayed himself into riches. It's not done. He has something doing. Name any rich man that didn't have anything doing. So all you need to do is to get something doing. Obey the principles. It's just like you want a child and you are not ready to, marry, or as a man, you're not ready to sleep with a lady to have a child. If you pray from morning till night, you're not going to have that child. It's the same principle. What is the principle of getting money? Work with your hands. Be industrious. That is it. That is the thing. Someone say silver and gold belongs to God. Of course, silver and gold belongs to Jesus, and he has already laid down the principles of how to get these things that belong to him. The air we breathe belongs to him, but we don't have to pray to get it. I think this is simple enough. I don't know why people are finding it hard, to understand. I think this is simple enough. The sand, the cattle on 1,000 hills, everything, the mountains, they all belong to who? To Jesus. The sun, the air we breathe, the water we drink, they all belong to Jesus. But do you pray before you get water? So I want you to understand the kind of question you're asking for. You're not supposed to be asking that kind of question. That the whole earth belongs to God does not now mean we should be preaching it. I don't know why believers don't want to obey those principles. We are saying that is not the reason you go to church. You can apply the principles. It's not in church that they teach you those principles. The reason for church is not because of those principles, because before Christ died and there was even something like the church of God, the body of Christ, people have already been applying those principles. So now it is wrong for you to say that we are against prosperity. We are not against prosperity. We are against preaching it as the gospel. Prosperity is not the gospel. It's not the reason why Jesus came, because people were prosperous, people were rich before Jesus came. I hope this is now clear. Now, the other part, you say that poverty is not a sign of holiness. Of course, both riches, poverty, wealth, they are never a sign of holiness. I don't know if our preaching or our message in any way insinuates that poverty is a sign of holiness. No, it does not insinuate that poverty is a sign of holiness. All we are trying to say is that you cannot, worship God and mammon, but you can worship God with mammon. Listen, you cannot worship God and mammon, but you can worship God with mammon. Okay? You cannot in the place of God put money or try to get God's blessings with money. That's an insult to God. Okay, but you can use the money or the things you've gotten from what God has already given to everyone, including unbelievers, to worship God, because at the end of the day it all belongs to God. So that statement you made that poverty is not a sign of holiness is uncalled for. Nobody said it was a sign of holiness. As a matter of fact, it is annoying to us, the preachers of Christ, that you are living what you're supposed to do to be rich, and you are praying to God to be rich for things that the world doesn't need to pray to God for. You are supposed to be rich because other people apply those principles and they get rich. What you do is apply those principles and still get rich. Now we move to the second question.